Hey there, Cancer, the Moon Child. Here's your weekly horoscope for March 28th to April 3rd. Well, as you may or may not be aware, your sign is ruled by the moon, and this week we have a full moon in Libra, and that's pretty important to how it may be affecting you, so let's get that out of the way first. First of all, Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn are all the cardinal signs. With the sun in Aries, when the sun is ever opposite the moon, that's when we have a full moon. And in this case, with the sun in Aries and moon in Libra, well, that creates what's called a T-square to your sign of Cancer. So unfortunately on Monday, when the full moon is at its fullest, you may find the first couple of days of the week a bit more stressful for you, especially Monday. Now, I point this out to you because you do tend to be a very emotional sign, and your emotions may get the better of you on Monday, as in you have a meltdown, a freak out, or some other such thing. It is possible that other people may have a meltdown or freak out with you, but again, that just encourages your emotional response, which may not be negative during a full moon. So watch out for conflicts and over-emotionality and things sort of coming to a head on Monday during this full moon. We as well have Pluto in Capricorn that's going to be squaring that Sun-Moon opposition. And Pluto in Capricorn may bring up some very deep-seated and dark issues and emotions with you. Now, your sign, you're very emotional, but that doesn't mean you always express your emotions at that time and all the time. Like the other water signs, Scorpion, Pisces, sometimes you hide your emotions or you bury them because sometimes you're a little bit too fearful and feeling too vulnerable. Now, if that's the case, when Pluto in Capricorn hits this full moon, all this deep, dark stuff may come out from the bottom of your toes. So, for example, if you have been zipping your lip and not being honest with somebody in your life, in a relationship perhaps, or work situation, well, look out, because the full moon may open the damn doors on Monday, and I don't mean to swear, I mean D-A-M. So look out. There's just a little too much emotion afoot, perhaps, on the early part of this week in Cancer. You may say or do something really foolish and really hurt somebody else, not to mention yourself. Now, if you're behaving yourself and you got yourself pulled together, wonderful, but be aware that other people may decide they want to take out some stuff on you. Well, in general, they've already found they won't get very far because you are a cardinal sign, and cardinal signs look out for themselves first. So if somebody's trying to push you around on Monday, they may be surprised to find the reaction that they'll get from you. But at least the Mercury is not squaring Mars in Gemini as it was last week, or you might have been much more prone to be irritable and in a fighting mood this week. However, that full moon is very strong for your sign, so I hope you remember what I said and try to keep your cool with the most important people and situations in your life. Now we can move on to the good stuff. Mercury in Pisces is conjunct Neptune from Sunday to Wednesday, and that Neptune is in a very nice aspect to the planet Jupiter in Aquarius. So what that means for you is, first of all, Pisces is a fellow water sign. So when planets are in your fellow water signs, they tend to make harmonious aspects to you. So the good thing about Mercury conjunct Neptune that I like is that it usually fires up a lot of inspiration, creativity, sometimes spirituality. People may have a spiritual experience or a spiritual retreat. Perhaps you'll go back to yoga or meditation or prayer or your house of worship or something in this week. You may need to after Monday. But in general, there is a wonderful healing aspect about this going on around you as well this week, at least for the early part. And that's good news during this full moon. With Sun and Venus conjunct in Aries all week, for your sign, it does sort of make your relationships at work much more important. It could be that there are changes within personnel where you work, and there may be some bad news and some good news with that. It could be somebody is leaving that you really do like or enjoy, but do know with this conjunction that it is also very possible that somebody good could be coming into your sphere of work, and that may become a positive relationship with you professionally, or even making a new friend at work or something like that. As I said, though, just be careful on Monday that there's just too much going on that day. With Chiron also involved in this conjunction with Venus and the Sun until Wednesday, there is the potential for healing to come out this week, but Chiron is also a planet of wounding. So again, watch out for relationship disagreements this week. It could be that you wound somebody very deeply, or they bring up your deeper wounds and you have at them, but, well, at least it might clear the air. I think the important thing that goes on while Mars is in Gemini and Mercury is in Pisces is setting boundaries. Very often, boundaries are an unspoken thing. We just assume that people will be civil. Civility, to me, is a form of boundaries. But as we know today, people are choosing to be very uncivil to one another. We're in a period of time where all these dark feelings of people are coming out, hurting people, and violence and all kinds of things going on in the world. And unfortunately, this is a time where within your life and with everybody, it might be that you need to negotiate some boundaries with people or set them if you don't. Sometimes we just presume that people will respect boundaries, but very often they don't. And the kind of planets that I see going on this week, and even perhaps last week, there is a lot of boundary crossing going on. So it may be a good time to, after the full moon, talk about things, air your grievances, negotiate compromises. Make sure you look out for yourself, but do be aware that other people have rights too, and compromise is probably one of the best themes for you this week that you could look at doing. Aside from that, with the North Node in Gemini sextiling the Sun and Venus from Thursday on, again, the latter part of the week should probably go a lot better for you than the early part perhaps. And once the moon is in Scorpio, also from Tuesday to Thursday, that may help get things going along. At least I can say this, although you may have some difficulties with one or more people this week, you'll also find out who your friends are this week, because the people that truly love you and care about you, they will be there, they will check up on you. Now, try not to weigh people too heavily in any balance of whether they're there for you or not, because everybody has their life. But do know that although there may be a little bit of unrest, we'll say this week, there's also the opportunity to resolve issues and to move forward in spring with a lot lighter of a heart if you choose to let go of some of these negative emotions. So good luck, Cancer. I hope you have a much better week ahead.